Dana White and Gilbert Burns really need to sit down and get on the same page. On one hand, you have the boss talking about how Covington is fight ready and set to take on Burns later this year. And on the other, Durinho thinks he's going to be out for the rest of the year. Which one is it, guys? Keep watching and we'll try to get to the bottom of this potential matchup. First up, but is he fight ready? While Colby finally managed to seal the Masvidal saga for good earlier this year, his troubles were far from over. Masvidal obviously had some problems handling the loss, and we're guessing that's why he decided to jump Covington outside a restaurant in Miami. Just when Colby stepped outside, Masvidal snuck up behind him and landed a really shameful sucker punch, doing some serious damage to his jaw and neck. Afterwards, Chaos decided to take legal action against Gamebred for damaging his Rolex, his teeth, and a neck injury. And judging from what we've heard so far, Masvidal is in a really bad situation. In fact, he might even end up facing jail time, since what he did is pretty much assault. And while the lawsuit is still going on, we're not really sure if Colby is fight ready, because the stories don't add up. Dana claims he's ready, and there's been a verbal agreement between him and Durinho to fight each other sometime by the end of this year. Burns thinks that's highly unlikely, since Chaos has a list of injuries that would have him sitting out for at least March 2023. So is he fight ready or not? Well, we're gonna side with Burns on this one. The way Colby described his injuries sounded pretty serious, and we think it'll at least take him the rest of this year to recover from them. But still, for Covington, it's a matter of when. For Masvidal, it's a matter of if. Next, he's been awfully quiet. Word gets around fast at the UFC. If it's not the fighter talking, then the guys around him are usually slipping the deets. And according to Gilbert, the Colby camp has been really quiet. Durinho claims Chaos is out bad because he doesn't just have a really gruesome neck injury, but he's done some major damage to his nerves as well. Oh, and let's not forget the broken jaw either. We're not really sure where Burns is getting all this information from, but if he's right, then Masvidal should be dropped by the UFC immediately. Nerve damage is not a joke. That sort of an injury could even end up putting a stop to his career. And that's not all. Gilbert also revealed that Colby got surgery for his broken jaw, but that didn't go too well, and he'll probably have to sit out even longer now. He kinda broke his jaw again. He had surgery, and the surgery didn't go well. We said it before, and we'll say it again. If this really is what's going on right now, then we have absolutely no clue how Dana just called a man so broken ready to fight again. No one has seen him training either, and the guys around him haven't heard from him in a really long time now. Maybe he's taking some time off to recover, because those injuries aren't just physical, they're mental as well. Think about it. Masvidal isn't a random guy on the street. He's a trained MMA professional. He could literally kill a man with his bare hands if he wanted to. So getting sucker punched by a guy like him wouldn't just hurt a lot, it would also do a lot of mental damage as well. For now, all we can hope is that it's nothing too serious. He's undoubtedly one of the most dominant welterweights in the division, and to see a career end like that would be a tragedy. But he wants the smoke. After losing his fight against Khamzat Chimaev, Gilbert Burns is waiting impatiently for the smoke. He can't wait to step inside the octagon again and make his way to the top. Prior to his loss against the Chechen-born fighter, he was ranked at number 2 in the division. We imagine he's probably lost a couple of spots because a lot has changed in the division since then. But if Colby's out, then who's he going to fight? Well, even though Burns is a rival of both men, there's a lot of rumors going around that he might fight Masvidal in December. We're gonna keep it real with you. This is the worst matchup we've ever heard of. And it's not because they're mismatched or something, it's because Masvidal doesn't deserve to fight. How is Dana letting him fight when he's being charged for assault? He sucker punched one of your fighters outside a restaurant in Miami after getting whooped fair and square inside the cage. And Dana is gonna let this man fight again without any action whatsoever? This is why we hate this fight. If it ends up happening, we hope Burns puts him through hell and makes Masvidal regret his decision to fight again. But when he's done with Jorge, Burns plans on pursuing his dream fight, fight, and that's going to be against Covington. Durinho has laid down his plans, and after finishing Gamebred in December, he wants to take on Colby when he returns sometime in 2023. Time for some more on the UFC. Up next, did Salt Lake City get to him? Even though Rocky was able to squeeze in a victory to lift the welterweight title late in the 5th round, he actually had a lot of trouble leading up to the moment. About a day after the fight, Edwards opened up about how this was one of the weakest performances of his career, and that's probably because the elevated Salt Lake City sort of got to the champ. He claims his body completely gave in after the 1st round of the fight. He was seeing openings and even got a ton of opportunities to make his move on the Nigerian, but his body just wouldn't respond. Edwards described the feeling as if his body had disconnected from his mind. He wanted to move in a certain way, but it just wouldn't happen. That sounds really scary, to be honest. Imagine fighting Kamaru Usman and your body isn't responding. That's terrifying. He's lucky the Nigerian wasn't having his best night either. Still, we're glad he was able to muster the strength to land a knockout head kick right on target to become the new welterweight champion of the world. It was much needed humbling for the former champ. It felt like he was getting too caught up in the designer clothes and bling. At least now we'll get to see a focused fighter take the floor again. And now, for some words of wisdom. Kamaru was shaken up really bad after that head kick. He was lying flat on his back with his eyes wide open, just wondering what in the world happened. Because before that kick, everything was pretty much in his favor. He was the clear winner, and had Edwards not landed that kick, he'd still be the champion today. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're going to be talking about some words of wisdom coming from the king of entertainment himself. Conor was really happy with the outcome, since Edwards is also managed by Paradigm Sports. So that makes 2 champions now under the same management, Izzy and Leon. The real words of wisdom came when he advised Kamaru and other fighters to never bring their kids to fights. No matter how confident you are, you never know what could happen, and having your kids witness you getting knocked out unconscious is a sight they'll never forget. Kamaru's daughter was absolutely terrified when she saw her dad get smacked with that kick. You could clearly see she was distressed and crying. We're glad things didn't get too bloody, but this is some solid advice from the former 2-weight champ. Don't bring your kids to fights. Finally, is he still coming back? The word is in from McGregor, and apparently, the Irishman claims he's training like an absolute madman, but still won't be able to return before 2023. Mystic Mac also has a role lined up alongside Hollywood superstar Jake Gyllenhaal in Amazon's remake of the classic 1980s Roadhouse. We still doubt that he'll return to fighting though. That movie is gonna bring in some serious money for the former champion, and who knows, he might even start getting a lot of offers from Hollywood after this one. So we're gonna put our money where our mouth is. You heard first from us. Conor will never return to fighting again. He'll be involved in the fight world, but we'll probably never see him inside the cage. But that's not exactly a bad thing. We think he's earned everything he has, and it's time he hung up the gloves and took the McGregor legacy even further. That's it from our side, folks. So what do you think? Is Burns right about Colby being out until early 2023? Or is Dana right about Chaos being ready for his comeback? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.